This is Democracy Now! I'm Amy Goodman with Juan Gonzalez. We turn to a growing movement against Flock, an automatic license plate reader company used by over 5,000 law enforcement agencies in 49 states across the country. Critics have mapped over 100,000 Flock cameras in use on streets in rural and urban communities and accuse Flock of building a nationwide mass surveillance system. Flock's cameras aren't like regular traffic cameras. Their surveillance technology records and tracks every car or human that comes into view. And then an AI algorithm catalogs the make, model, color, license plate number, bumper stickers, and even scratches. This personal information is then uploaded to a nationwide database that any law enforcement agency with a Flock contract can search, with little oversight on how they use what they find. Flock is marketed as a tool to fight crimes, but the cameras collect data on millions of vehicles, regardless of whether the driver is suspected of a crime. And as President Trump's immigration enforcement crackdown has escalated, concerns are growing over whether the local data from these cameras could be aiding the deportation dragnet. Flock claims it doesn't work with ICE and that ICE does not have direct access to Flock's cameras or systems or data. But an investigation from 404 Media last year found more than 4,000 searches that may have been conducted on behalf of or in partnership with ICE. This past May, an audit by the Dayton, Ohio Police Department found its cameras were searched more than 7,000 times for immigration enforcement purposes. This is what Flock CEO Garrett Langley said in a podcast just last month.
And so when the topic of immigration enforcement comes up, I'm like, guys, the company has no opinion on this. If the state of Texas wants to enforce immigration, they might use Flock, but they're going to go enforce immigration no matter what Flock does. And that's the state of Texas's choice. That's the city's choice. And it's tough, right? It's really tough for my employees to work at a company where they're like, oh, I don't like that law, but our technology is used to enforce it. But we can't make that our problem as a company.
So Flock is being used by universities, by big box stores. For more on it and the movement against it, we're joined here in New York by Chad Marlowe, Senior Policy Counsel at the ACLU, where he focuses on privacy, surveillance, and technology issues. He leads the ACLU's efforts against Flock. Explain what we're talking about here and how Flock has been used, Chad.
So basically, automatic license plate readers, or ALPRs, are cameras that take a picture of every single car that goes by it, not just the cars that are suspected of criminality or have done something wrong, but every single car. They record the information about the car, including where it is and when it was there, and then they put it into a database. And this is where it gets really scary, because now you have pictures of every innocent person who drives by in a database that is kept for a month or more and shared throughout the nation with all of Flock's law enforcement customers, and in fact, even internationally with people associated with Flock. And so essentially, even though in America, one of our core constitutional principles is privacy, we have a company working with governments to record the comings and goings of every single person in the country as if you and I and everyone else were potential criminals. And that is, in my opinion, a very un-American take on privacy and the way that we engage in criminal justice enforcement.
And Chad, this company...
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start off by giving all praises, all honor, and all glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakah Kodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well, peace, and salutations unto the hopeful elect. All right, back on another lesson here. All right, and basically just getting into this video, I see here from Democracy Now! All right, Flock Cameras, ACLU, raises alarm about nationwide surveillance database. And basically, again, the topic of, the setting up of the NWO, the advancement, towards, total control. We notice the enterprise of this man, in the scriptures who identify as Esau Edom. Okay, so basically, nationwide camera surveillance database. Set up for the beast system. Okay, this is where it advanced into is getting to. All right. So I just play you 3 minutes of this. Okay, and as you see here, it basically this tech company Flock, setting up cameras for criminal control, surveillance around the neighborhoods in the states there, and basically fighting against crime and whatnot. But also the camera is picking up a wide view of people basically, and picking up you know you know um going against our privacy basically, and its database is saved in a database center basically, to be where AI processes it and keeps it. All right, and you understand this database stuff being set up now, and we're seeing more than ever in this time, prophecy and whatnot. Okay, is a reason databases, AI databases, are gonna go, with this system, with Revelation, 13 and verses 15, which I'll read. Okay, that's a party life for the image of the beast. So we know where they're going into. We're not ignorant as devices are gonna go and read and all these things. So this is just basically a wide view, or a wide how they're setting up this with basically so-called safety. But then comes basically it validating it going against privacy. So you see this, and this is a part of the NWO, where comes a dystopian world, total control, all these things. And these databases is just the process, data for every day, for the building up of AI and whatnot. This man's building an image, who opposing the Most High. All right. So this is what I type up here from Google. The Flock company setting up nationwide camera surveillance. Okay, this says Flock safety is rapidly deploying over 90,000 AI-powered automated license plates readers, ALPR. Okay, that's what it stands for. So it reading cars and certain things. To say it can even read scratches and whatnot. Tell by scratches, keep that, save it up. Okay, for so-called crime use, but also it as I said, going against their privacy. Read on, so across all 50 U.S. states, while police department praises the cameras for solving local crimes, the ACLU and privacy advocates warn they are constructing a warrantless nationwide mass surveillance network. And this is a part of the NWO, so say how the technology works. Okay, so license plate, vehicle make, distinguishing features, and timestamps, all these things, but it's getting wider than that. Okay. All right, so this is what it is. We know this is a part of this man's basically advancing or stage towards his beast system, towards his total control at the end of the day. All right. Okay, so we're not ignorant of his devices, with the apostles on down. All right, we're not ignorant of this, prophecy make us prudent, sensible. All right. This is Revelation, Salakia. I read this first, 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and verses 11. It says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant. Okay, we're not ignorant like these people in the world with, the World Cup and whatnot. Jake, passing here, they don't know, just here in Trinidad, databases basically setting up. Okay, and water, the database have to use water to cool down and whatnot for tech, for the technological use. Okay, so drought, all these things, and ready for what, that C-hip, that tracking, that total control again. So I read it over. It says, for we are not ignorant of his devices. This is Apostle Paul, saying this to the church of Corinth. Okay, so just go in that. All right, devices.
Strong's G 3540. Naima.
a mental perception, thought, and evil purpose, that which thinks the mind, thoughts, or purposes. Okay, this is this man's enterprise, his endeavor, is, you know, basically his labor, his work towards this, towards total control. Okay, basically, accessing people's privacy and all these things, for this system, he wants everybody to participate. He calls us all, and this is how he calls in all right. So it's a mental perception. At the end of the day, when you see his first, crime law use with ICE, well, I guess have a certain agreement with Flock for immigration and whatnot. Okay, all these things, to bring in martial law, but the purpose of all these things, is for that system, all right, for that B system. Okay, the MOTB. All right, this is where it's going down to. So just look at that word. Okay, mental perception. Okay, mental perception is the brain's processing of organizing and interpreting sensory information to make sense of the world. Okay, and this is it. Well, first with this system they're coming down to. All right, it acts as a bridge between raw physical stimuli and our conscious experience, having heavily shaped by our memories, expectations, and personal or cultural context. Okay, so their plan is to basically oppose the Most High. Okay, they thought is to control the masses of the people. All right. Okay, that's just it. Okay, and to be inside your head, that's see it. Okay. Let me see here, bear with me. Bring out the precept. This is Isaiah chapter 32 and verses. I'll just read this verses 5. It says, the vile person being Esau Edom, the word vile meaning foolish, stupid, foolish. This man's a foolish man. Okay, a carnal, foolish man. It says, shall be no more called liberal meaning noble, generous, Okay, nor the churl, okay, said to be bountiful. The churl going to a scoundrel, a knave, someone who's untrustful. So he being that churl, okay, with the system, okay, that churl, okay, not going to be bountiful, not going to be helpful. All right, it is for their use. Okay, this is where they go into. Okay, all right. So we can see the setup and the stages behind it. All right, you're not gonna be bountiful for the world, Okay, he coming down with great wrath. Okay, so why? He knows he has a short time. Okay, this vile man. All right. Okay, bring out the precept here. This is Salakia. This is Sirach chapter 10 and verses Sirach chapter 10 and verses 1. Okay, and I'll read down to 3. A wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. Okay, but Esau is using his power for the opposite, for the control of the people. All right, verse 2, it says, as the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. Okay, and what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are they, are all they that dwell therein. Okay, and this is what he's setting up by his technocracy. Okay, it is going towards his perception, his mental perception, which is for total control. Okay, because AI is going to be ordering this NWO, instructing them laws. Okay, verse 3 says, an unwise king destroyeth his people, and through the prudence of them which are in authority the city shall be inhabited. Okay, so this is on the unwise king and coming down with great wrath upon the people. You know, on his prudence, he coming down with unjust things. Okay, because this man is the wicked. All right. So now I'll pull up this precept of Revelation chapter 13 and verses. Revelation chapter 13 verses 60. It's like here. Not 16, 15. It says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, this man. Okay, through technology, AI. Okay, they go into the word life there, basically meaning like breath, life, so he wanna be as good as he created an imitation to imitate the Most High, Heavenly Father, while his son. All right. It says, unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Okay, coming down to that time. All right, to be killed, or not to participate of the system, to eat all these things as it goes on to say. So, but this is the setting up the stage behind it. And that's why they're setting up these database centers. As you see, these surveillance cameras, all right, are database, AI database, so collecting, every form of data, and organizing it. Okay, so basically the brain, or God intelligence. All right, this is what they're making. This is Job, book of Job, chapter 16, and verses I read 12. The point, it says, I was at ease, but he hath broken me asunder. He hath also taken me by the neck and shaken me to pieces and set me up for his mark. Okay, this is the setting up. Okay, for his mark. This is the goal. All right, for total control. Which will be that RFID micro C hip. Okay, fair use. All right, this is just what it is. Okay, this is prophecy coming into play with this man's system. This is Job chapter 5. It's been my last precept, and verses 12. Okay, he disappointed the devices of the crafty. Okay, so that their hands, okay, the power cannot perform the enterprise they plan. Okay, who's the crafty? So Edom. Let's go in it. Okay. Crafty, subtle, shrewd, crafty, sly, sensible, crafty, shrewd, sensible, prudent. So they having prudence towards, basically getting the plan, the goal. Okay, and this is setting up the stage behind it. All right, to enable it. All right. Okay, I'm gonna look up enterprise now. Okay, let's see, wisdom, sound knowledge, success. Okay, it's success they're looking for with the system, or efficient wisdom, abiding success. And this is what it is. But all of it coming to naught, disappointment, when Yahushai comes back. But this has to happen. Okay, as prophecy taking place, the MOTV system, the NWO is coming into play. All right. So I hope this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakah Kodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations unto the hopeful elect. Wa Abad Babal and Shalom.